Presumably. There's always the world where DJDon goes me gunner, which doesn't help the situation.
No.
I was saying we might expect a set that will go to time or last a little bit longer, because any situation where you're playing something like Sheik, for example, everything we'll probably try to approach this is, look, I'm not going to be able to prevent him from mining.
Yeah.
He's going to get his tools.
Yes.
But I don't want to die at 20 or 40 to a diamond pickaxe. I just don't want that to happen.
And she's just so freaking light. Yeah, like I know.
She's Fox syndrome.
Is that what it is from Smash 4?
Yeah,
just literally getting that one forward air and drag down?
Kind of. I mean, Fox just falls victim to the same combo where he can just jab you all the way across the screen. It's because they're both fast fallers.
Yep.
They have similar gravities.
And that's another thing that I feel like plays heavily into a Steve matchup. But something that is very well known here in the area about Nutmeg is she is pretty like on point with her combos. And that drag down was a start that we did see. That was a very awkward position to be in. But like she does know these Sheik inputs.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The downside is if you're just a little bit off, you could just die. As stated.
Can you just give me the winning lottery numbers tonight? You've literally like had the foresight on several interactions here.
It just, sometimes you've been around the block for a while. You know what to expect. But it feels bad sometimes in those moments. Look at that. Beautiful combo. Barely didn't get the KO because we have no rage anymore. Used all of it when we died to the unfortunate execution. Ooh, trying to get the jab down tilt. Could have set up an please, DJDon, a little bit of mercy. Just a little bit.
I mean, but it's Steve. Like, what do you expect? That's exactly how you should be playing the character. And I like the way that DJDon does play Steve. He scraps. I have to be honest. DJDon does get in there, and you don't like to throw little hands every now and again.
He's got that diamond ready to go, and that means that we're a forward smash away from the last stock on Nutmeg. There we go. Okay.
Clean.
Has to rebuild those diamonds. And now that we've got our hit, we've earned the diamond back. There we go. Very low on resources, actually. So we could see Nutmeg maybe try to suffocate DJDon for a bit, but that one hit could give you a little bit of time.
Now, is it called redstone? Is that just what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what powers the rails.
Yes. And that was another thing that you gotta have. You gotta have materials. Gotta have a redstone to get the nice minecart. Which I mean, he is just wasting them, but it doesn't even really matter. Picked up the diamond, did put it into the work. You know, the crafting table. Does have it on hand.
Oh, that's farming. Awful. We've created a mob farm.
I mean, granted, it's Minecraft Steve playing Minecraft inside of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch.
We've ported him straight into the game. So much damage. It's so much damage.
But it's also the glass cannon character of Sheik. This is what you have to deal with when you decide to pick this character. You know that at any point you can explode.
Man, say glass cannon, but really, when you're going up against Steve and you've seen the cannons that Steve is packing, it doesn't really feel much like a cannon anymore.
Kind of feel like you're just shooting a water pistol.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, okay. And that's why you typically would see Nutmeg sitting back more and trying to set up the needle stuff, because it's really slow to get that game plan going.
Yeah.
But if you make one error up close at 80%, your stock's gone.
Yep. To anvil. To literally, what is it? Just a nair?
It's down there.
Well, no, yeah, but the anvil's down there. But like, is it just a hit on shield
to
keep you locked and then immediately anvil?
Yeah, anvil just hits twice.
That's insane.
It hits the shield and then it lands and it hits again.
And you can't block that. It's no like.
I mean, you can try, but you know the way that shields work.
Right.
A lot of the time you're gonna get poked.
I feel that, and it's any character, right? Like anybody falls victim to it. It's not just a fast follower or something specific.
Yeah, that's just everybody has to deal with the fact that Anvil does a ton of shield damage and makes you really sad.
I get it. I get it. Here we are, game number 2, though, and Nutmeg, she's thrown out about 70 hits, gotten about a singular % for each of them.
Yeah.
It tracks the Sheik Classic.
There we go. Got the stack of needles loaded up. Manages to not explode on the first of this. That's always nice.
Is your prediction here? I mean, obviously this has got to be one of the most unfavorable matchups in the game. It's Steve versus everybody, but
Yeah.
it is one of those things of, as badly as you want to get a kill move here, it is so hard for Sheik, the character, to get this kill move.
I don't think it's that crazy hard.
Oh my.
It's not even like an insanely lopsided matchup. It's just that the risk reward sucks. The risk reward is heavily skewed, and that makes it a lot easier to play Pete Steve in the matchup than it is to play like Pete Sheik.
I mean, speaking of though, look at Nutmeg with these combos.
Yeah, they're not impossible to connect. She's got a lot of ways to land into her kill moves, but Rage is a huge factor, and that's one thing that makes things a lot harder, right?
Exactly.
Sheik without Rage is not going to be able to get those combos to connect at a kill percent a lot of those times, and we saw in the first game as well, where one of those crazy needles bouncing fish connected at the edge at over 100%, and Steve was just fine.
Let's call it what it is right now. Nutmeg is in DJDon's head. Until this, it slows down right there. The first stock taken, DJDon finally in this game too, but like, she is cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. They're beautiful movement, trying to bait out the aerial from DJDon, sees that there's no time for one to come out. Oh yeah. And see, there's a bunch of ways you can connect. Needles are great to set up your KOs, and especially on PS2 as well. You have up air drag downs on a platform. Jab can connect into down tilt, which is great. Like, she has a lot of kill setups. I feel like the idea of she can't kill is a huge misconception.
We just saw it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, she's pretty solid at finding the KOs, but the hard part comes with, especially in this matchup, it's difficult to hold on to Rage to be able to actually get those kills or those combos to connect at kill percent. Because when you have Rage, you're going to die to one regular pickaxe attack. It doesn't have to be anything particularly special. So it's much easier for Steve to find a killing hit than like necessarily a setup into a kill.
I got you. I mean, it's one of these things. You mentioned it earlier. I think we were off screen when it happened, talking about Brunito and the execution thing.
Yeah.
I think it really does fall down with these heavy execution characters, the fast fallers, the okay, DJDon, you kind of had me worried there for a second. I gotta figure out what was happening there, but like the heavy execution characters, it just requires so much of the person when in operation to get these kill moves, like you were saying. Like, they're not impossible, but it's just how many times are you gonna roll the dice before one finally hits?
This is I feel like if I were to explain this in card game player terms, as a card game player, we have the deck that is much harder to play, but has a pretty high ceiling, right? And then you have the deck that is much easier to play with a very similar ceiling. Over a 9-round tournament, you're going to want to play the one that's easier to play.
Of course.
Because after all those rounds, you've got a whole bunch of decision fatigue. You're not going to play it to its peak. And that is also true of high execution characters in fighting games. The longer that you're forced to execution test yourself, eventually you're going to miss something.
Exactly. And I think we all fall victim to that, really. I mean, everybody has, like, there's some amount of good execution that comes with any character you play. Others, obviously, a little easier to pilot. For instance, Cineroar, you know, characters like that, like, they're just timing things that you need to be very specific on.
Oh, nice.
That right there, though, is not exactly how I expect DJDon to lose his first stock. We're tied up on lives right now.
I was actually put in a weird spot because of where he put the blocks, that he had to kind of go through Meg to get to the ledge. And Vanish was in the way, but my goodness, barely surviving. But that's, run away. Now that we have Diamond Pickaxe, just about any hit, and the back air is the one, will take Nutmeg out. And it's not like you had to find a crazy setup the way that Sheik has to find specific needles, drag down up air. Look at this. DJDon sneezed, and Nutmeg took 67.
I mean, I also feel like that's just a Sheik thing, but yes, you're right. Sneeze took 67, Diamond Pickaxe putting in absolutely all the work that DJDon needs it to, and boy, that is not the execution we were looking for. Poor Nutmeg. SD for the last stock there.